iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Here tonight, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series is back here the day after Easter. It's the Happy Yeetser 90, presented by Philly Edwards here tonight. We are ready to go racing as these drivers are out into their qualifying session right now. This will be round number 3 of the season. Like I said, we're here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. They call it the Magic Mile. Opened back in 1990, they hosted a number of racing events. Everything from NASCAR to the Xfinity Series, the Craftsman Truck Series back in the day, as they called it, and the Whelen Modified Tour does come here. They run super late models also, and they have a drag strip right down the road also. They just built a brand new dirt track here at this facility. I have not seen too much of it, but they do have one. We're not racing the dirt, though, tonight. We will race here tonight on the 1 mile asphalt course. This track, though, is going to be one of the most trickiest tracks we have seen all season for these drivers here with the Scrambler Series, but I'm sure they have enough willpower to get things done here tonight. I talked about it. We're in round number 3. Well, if you win, you get yourself into the playoffs. The thing is, though, you gotta win first, and there's only been 2 races already into the books this season, and when you take a gander at those points championship standings, I just lost it off my screen. There it is. We have it right here. Max Terra, he won the season opener. Sean Butler won last week. And James Skelton is the first driver that's not locked in on points. Or from a win, he's the first driver in on points, I should say. He's third. Ethan Troutman and Michael Trevarthen, they are your top 5 drivers coming into the night. We'll see who's going to be still inside the top 5 and who's going to be locked in from a win. 2 drivers have only locked themselves in, so there's plenty of room here tonight. Let's go down trackside now, though, and get that starting lineup. Starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at SimBox. If you don't have a button box on your sim rig, race fans, you need to get one and dial your brake bias in to put yourself out front. SimBox, you need one. Starting on the pole, he lives just down the road. He's not very far from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He drives car number 4. Jeffrey Souza driving car number 4 will roll off P number 1 tonight. Starting to his outside, driving the number 86. This is James Skelton. He's been a past champion here with the series. He'll start P number 2. Starting back in third, it's the Alien. The all-green number 64 of Jason Wells will start third. Fourth tonight, driving car number 2 out of Florida. This is Michael Trevarthen. And hailing from Canada, just across the border here, driving car number 42. This is Max Terrill. He'll start fifth here tonight. Starting into the 6th spot, driving car number 24, that's Zach Mitchell. Back in 7th, Chris Hammett, driving car number 6 with a throwback here tonight. He'll start from the 7th spot. Back into the 8th spot, Rex Wheel driving the 54 entry here tonight. He'll go 8th. 9th will go to the Ohio driver. The 88 is Sean Butler. Brandon Minto back into the 10th spot, while Richard Murdoch, the Foundation, will go from P number 11. Starting back in 12th, it'll be the number 51 of DJ Anderson. 13th here tonight on the grid, Tim Blum. 14th will go to the 11 of Sean Single. Doug Neal, the sim box, number 77, will start 15th. 16th will be Brian Bianchi. Then it will be back into the 17th spot, Tony Strano. Ryan O'Donoghue, 18th. AJ Hamill in 19th. Joe Strano back into the 20th spot here tonight. And 21st will go to Dave Bragg. 22nd, Philly Edwards in 73 tonight. Brandon Feeney, Eric Johnson, Mike Lemieux, Ethan Troutman. Then it's going to be Joshua Buckley, Rob Higgins, Bruce Potter, Kevin O'Brien, and Bob Higgins and Tim Combs will round out the field here tonight. Ready to go racing 90 laps. Going to be on the docket here tonight for these drivers as we get ready to go. Green flag is in the air here tonight. Put 90 laps up on the board. Here we go. 90 laps at New Hampshire, and it's the 4 of Souza that will take the early race lead down here in turn number 1. Will he be able to lead out of turn number 2? He does. It'll be the number 4 of Souza down the back straightaway for the first time here tonight. The battle, though, is for the 2nd spot between the Alienware, number 64, and James Skelton. You see Skelton onto the outside. That Alienware, number 64, the Chevrolet, down to the bottom side, but it'll be all Souza leading the way here, lap number 1. So Souza leading lap number 1, letting his competition in the dust for the time being. He had a very strong car in our practice session. He was the fastest car in practice. As you see the 42 there coming up on the back end of that Chevrolet, the 64 of Jason Wells. Wells down to the bottom side. Both lanes here tonight should come in at some point. Right now, though, kind of dead even there. Neither driver back there battling for that second position. One driver into the outside wall. That's the number 11 of Sean Single. He'll go down to the inside. He'll tag A.J. Hamill. I believe that's 3 weeks in a row. Those two have made some contact. And Philly Edwards in the Genesee Cream Ale, number 73 also getting a little piece of it. There you see the Genesee Cream Ale, number 73 of Philly Edwards. First caution flag of the evening is out here. Have to take a look back and see what happened here off of turn number 4 for Sean Single. Single has taken his car back to pit road. So the first caution flag of the evening is out here. Let's take a look back. See, the 11 of Sean Single had some kind of problem. Ryan O'Donoghue know where to go. Dave Bragg barely making it through. Right on board with Sean Single here. Just lost it off turn 4. And A.J. Hamill nowhere to go in the 918 entry. So A.J. Hamill getting caught up in this one too. So unfortunately, the first caution flag flying early here and collecting a couple of drivers. There are drivers coming to pit road like Philly Edwards. He was involved in that wreck. A couple other drivers going to come down and top off here under the first caution flag of the evening. Why not come get some tires while we can? See the 73, he'll sit there and he'll get some damaged fixed. There you see the field as they're assembled here tonight. Jeffrey Souza has led every lap. The top 3 have not changed hands. It started out front with Souza taking the pole here tonight, with Skelton in 2nd and Wells in 3rd. That's how they currently run here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, 1, 2, and 3. 4th is Max Derritt and Michael Trevarthen. They did flip those 2 positions while we went racing here tonight. So yes, a little bit of a rough one here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But I'm sure we'll get this one cleaned up and we'll get back to racing here tonight. One driver did not make the call to the grid, and that was Tim Combs. Well, why did Tim Combs not make it to the grid? Well, it's because he's out giving golf lessons here. Tim Combs, a amateur golfer, giving away free lessons to all Red Light Racing members. Make sure to hit up Tim Combs if you're ready for those golf lessons. Spring is in the air, and of course the golf courses, if you're in Ohio or Pennsylvania right now, and well, I believe it's through the Midwest, a lot of them covered in snow over the weekend, but it's just about time to get out there and yell for and chase some balls. Everybody is chasing the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza right now. You see that Hunt's Brothers Pizza number 4 out front. The Husky number 86 of Skelton will start to his outside. We're ready to go back racing here at the Magic Mile. It'll be 6 laps officially completed when the iRacing.com safety car does make its way to pit road here tonight. It goes to pit road, and we're ready to get back to racing here on the Happy Yeetser 90 as the green flag in round number 3 is back out. Everybody coming to turn number 1. Souza looking out to the outside there. That's the 86 of Skelton. Skelton gets a great run. He'll be able to hold serve down the back straightaway. The battle for the race lead into 3. And they're going to go side by side. Let's see who's going to lead the first lap back to the green flag. Here comes that number 4 car. He'll storm the inside. The momentum going to be carried, though, by the outside at the line. Give it to Souza. Still no race lead change just yet here tonight. It's been the 4 car. You see Skelton go way high, maybe a little bit out of the groove. That's going to allow the 4 of Souza to finally go ahead and take command of the race lead. So Souza takes the race lead, and then you got to go a little bit deeper into the field to find a little bit of battle. There's the get up side, number 5. That is Brandon Skinny Arms Minto. Minto battling currently with the number 14 of Brian Bianchi, that Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 14. Right ahead of his team car, or right behind the team car, excuse me, that's number 54 of Rex Hoyle. There's the Wiley veteran. County Tire and Service Center, number 54 of Rex Hoyle has fallen 2 spots since the drop of the green flag. Car out in front of him, though, that's going to be the Adventure in Pixel 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch has been able to go ahead and pick up 2 spots here in the early going. As though 1 car sideways hard into the outside wall on the front straightaway. 3, 4, 5, 6 cars pile up, and it's a traffic jam on the front straightaway. That all started with the 86 of James Skelton going around on the front straightaway. Caution lights are on as it is a pile up on the front straightaway still. See the number 24 of Mitchell completely sideways, and a couple other drivers stopped down there. I believe that's the Bush Beer number 40 of Rob Higgins. It looks like he was able to come to a complete stop as everybody's still trying to gather it up to get going here. So that's going to be a lot on this caution flag here tonight for us to go through. We know it all started with the 86 of Skelton. I think he got a little bit loose off turn number 4. But we'll have to wait for the truck to tell us they have that. So that'll put us under caution for the second time here tonight. The big one at New Hampshire. It just happened. Take a look here. See Skelton just loose off 4. Noses it in while everybody tried to get around there. There you see the 10 of Blum. There's the get up side. There's the 14 of a Yankee. There's the 2, I do believe. That was of Michael Trevarth. And there's the Rev Esports entry. He was involved. Ryan O'Donnell was involved. There's Tim Blum also rolling away. There's the 14 of a Yankee. There's the 88 of Sean Butler. Riding on board here with Brian Bianchi. Hello, incoming. Chris Hammett's around in front there, and a lot of drivers wrapped up in this one. Richard Murdoch barely squeaking through, and how about DJ Anderson? He'll squeeze through in that Fox entry. Everybody else left either stranded here in traffic right on board with Richard Murdoch. Talk about a close call for the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch when he does squeak through. The 88 of Sean Butler was involved in this one also. He had nowhere to go right there. Got a little tap from the back end of that number 6. Around he went, and now his entry has some nose damage. So back-to-back caution flags here tonight. A little bit of a slow start, but the tires on these cars have not come up to temperature. The temperature here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway is pretty cool. So these tires just not quite coming in. And while they didn't come in, we got to pay a couple bills here. We'll be right back to New Hampshire.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the...
Well, we're cut that one short because it's time to go back racing here tonight. Souza and Terrio on the front row. 4 cars going to spin the tires on the restart, so Souza not going to get quite the jump he wanted, as Max Terrio will lead the charge into turn number 1, but he does not have the inside preferred groove. Actually got a great center turn that time, and he'll come off the back straightaway as they're actually side-by-side into 3. Side-by-side to 3. We'll see who comes back around to lead the lap. A little contact. Rubbin's racing is what they say. Souza is going to move the 42 up the speedway. Still going to lead that lap. So he'll lead the first 15 laps of Green Flag Racing. Look at the man who's sitting third now going for second. Here comes the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch maybe going to rub a little bit of fenders that time too. Murdoch trying to bring the Adventure in Pixel 0-1 up into that second spot. Just missed that wreck, which puts him now sitting in third. Rex Hoyle sitting there in fourth, while Dave Bragg has settled comfortably with the Jiffy Lube number 31, sitting there into the P number 6. There's that Alienware number 64, a little bit farther back than what he was. Well, that's because he came down pit road under the caution flag. He was one of the drivers that did not get involved in that accident, but he came to pit road anyway. Wanted to get some tires and some service done on that 64 here. Let's see how far he can run up through the field. Biggest mover, though, is Dave Bragg in the Jiffy Lube number 31, the driver out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Running some Jiffy Lube products in that car tonight. DJ Anderson in the Fox, that baby blue and pink entry working his way into the top 10. He also came to pit road. Doug Neal in the sim box number 77. You see that sim box number 77, the neon yellow and blue entry. 77 on the side, the driver out of Georgia. He is currently sitting back into the 9th position. I had a run here with Doug about a year and a half ago in a super late model, and we'll talk about some great fun. Run Doug Neal, probably one of the cleanest drivers you're going to meet here on the iRacing.com service. Ran side-by-side, nose-to-tail with Doug Neal, slide jobs and all here at this flat track, and we had a super good battle. Doug Neal right now going to slip off corner number 2. That's going to allow the Road Rage Accessories number 43 of Joe Strano to kind of sneak away a little bit. Strano right out in front of him with those orange numbers on that white, black, and green entry. Can pick him out of a crowd, just like you can pick Jason Wells out of a crowd because he's trying to get underneath Rhino Donnie as the caution lights will come on. I believe a self-spinner towards the mid-pack, as that looks like that's going to be the number 59 of Bruce Potter, the X-Side Ford Mustang here tonight. Looks like he has gone around down in turns number 3 and 4 to bring out the 3rd caution flag here tonight in the Happy Yeetser 90. See a couple drivers already down on pit road. I don't see too much damage done to that X-Side number 59. That Mustang still looks like all 4 corners on that car are pretty straight. Yeah, they look straight to me. Let's take a look back here. Let's see what happens. Down on the bottom, the rear end just comes around, snap loose on the number 59. And unfortunately, the caution lights will get triggered here tonight, so the caution coming on. There you see Bruce, he's just going to point it back into the right direction, and he'll get right back to the tail of the field. So that's actually what's going to bring out the caution flag. I believe the crew says they have an onboard camera here. Right on board, let's listen to the throttle. It was almost like there was a tire possibly going down on the 59 of Bruce Potter because he was barely into the throttle when that car kind of just snapped around on him. We're seeing as Bruce Potter actually stays out. He doesn't come to pit road, so we'll see if maybe he just stepped on a banana peel. So, your fast time car here tonight is still the race leader. He has yet to come to pit road. He'll lead us back to green. One driver getting a lap back. That is the number 30 of Bob Higgins. The checkered flag auto supply number 30. That car will get back onto the lead lap now, so Bob will rejoin at the tail of the field here after our 3rd caution flag of the evening. But it is going to be Souza, Wells, DJ Anderson, and Michael Trevarthen, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's how they'll line up the first 2 rows here once they do get the signal to double them back up. A couple drivers are out of tonight's event. Tim Combs pulling himself out of tonight's event, feeling a little bit under the weather. So, Tim, tuning in out there, we hope you do feel better. We can't wait to see you back here next week. But, good luck giving golf lessons this week also. Couple drivers will come to pit road. That's Tony Strano in car number 3. Strano there, you see him leading the charge with his Chevrolet down pit road. Kevin O'Brien and Bruce Potter also coming to pit road along with them. There you see a couple cars down on pit road. Those cars, A.J. Hamill is also there. Sean Single and James Skelton looks like he is also out of tonight's event. So a handful of drivers really having a really rough start here tonight. One driver that didn't have that bad of a rough one. Well, I say he didn't have a rough night. He said this morning was a little bit rough, and that's going to be the driver there of that Wendy's machine, the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. He was just over at the dirt track. Well, I call it the dirt track. It's Bristol. They had dirt on it. He was there for the NASCAR Cup race last night. Take a look at what he sent into us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, there he is. The Turn 3 Racing koozie. He told me he forgot his koozie. He took us to Disney World last year, and then he got to Bristol and forgot his koozie at home. So we made one. I guess improvise, you know. Well, we hope Ethan had a good time there drinking his Miller Lights. I'm sure Brandon Minto's out there fist pumping. Troutman's going to have to start deep in this field. There you see that Wendy's number 62 entry. Troutman scheduled to fire this one back off in 17th position. So a very, very long way to get back to the front. There's the picture of the field as they are told this time to double it up after the 3rd caution flag of the evening here tonight. We will complete lap number 24 when we go back green flag racing. Race fans, we got to thank you while we're under caution here. Before we go back racing tonight, though, we got to thank you for your continued support here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Over 2,000 subscribers on our YouTube side of things and almost 2,000 followers over on our Facebook page. We thank you, race fans, for your continued support here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch some great racing action here with the iRacing.com platform. Back to green flag we go, though. Great start by the car on the inside. Souza going to take the outside lane here. A little bit of an interesting strategy tactic. So the four of Souza has started the inside lane every start here tonight, but not this one as they storm down the back straightaway. Drag race, that Ford able to hold serve with the fresher tires there of the number 64 of Wells. Wells now going to start to nose ahead halfway through the corner. Out of turn 4 for the first time here tonight. We will have a new race leader. Oh, wow. Timing and scoring going to revert that back to 4 with the momentum. The big motor underneath the bottom of that Mustang, and it was actually Souza who led the lap, but now out of turn number 2, it looks like the 64 Wells will take the race lead. So new race leader here as, oh, here comes the 4. Do not count the chickens before they hatch, because that 4 machine is absolutely on rails right now. May have the older tires, but still has the willpower. Back across the stripe they come to complete lap number 26 here out of the 90 scheduled for the Happy Yeetser 90, and it will now be Jason Wells leading his first laps of the evening. Ryan O'Donnell losing a spot there to the 77. One driver well up out of the groove down in turns number 1. That was the number 31, the driver out of Canada. That the 31 of Dave Bragg. So Dave Bragg going to lose a couple spots there from that one. He was up inside the top 5, now finds himself back outside the top 10 here tonight as Joe Strano in the Road Rage Accessories number 43 snuck up underneath him. Wells is the race leader, and that's the biggest race lead we have seen all evening long now. Called out 2.5 car lengths over Jeffrey Souza. Remember, Souza has yet to bring his Ford Mustang to pit road. Everybody else here that's inside the top 4 came down. And then you got these 2 drivers that are battling. That's the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen and the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch down to the bottom side. Murdoch trying to bring his Chevrolet up inside the top 6, and it looks like he will make the pass on Michael Trevarthen. So Trevarthen's having some handling problems. He just smoked the outside wall out of turn number 2. There's Chris Hammett. Hammett was involved. Remember, he was up against the inside guardrail on the front straightaway. And is starting to slowly work his way back into the mix here. Joe Strano trying to go around the outside of the 54. Murdoch around! Murdoch trying to lock it down. Green flag going to stay out as Murdoch was sideways, pointed towards the outside wall out of turn number 4. And he will keep it hammered down and point it into the right direction. No caution flag coming out here. Take a look back. I believe this is going to show us what happened to Richard Murdoch. He's going to get around the number 2 here. And then out of turn number 4, he's going to have some problems. Let's keep a close eye on this battle. As the crew said, that was going to be where it was. Let's take a look. Well, it wasn't that lap, so it must have been the lap previous. Well, there's some problems for another one of our drivers, though. Chris Hammett in car number 6 has gone to the inside grass. As we're bringing back live pictures here, there you see Chris Hammett. Out of turn number 2, he smoked the outside retaining wall and wound up going down through the grass out of turn number 2. He is back out onto the racing surface. He was inside the top 5. Now he finds himself back here into the 16th spot. Down 19 spots, or sorry, down 9 spots. I can almost read the timing and scoring correct here tonight. As him and Murdoch were just up there battling. Now they're battling back here 16th and 17th respectively on our scoring sheets. Brandon Feeney in the Liquid Molly K1 graphics entry. He was just out testing his hobby stock car this past weekend up in Canada. Went to the driving school, get a little more seat time in his number 38 hobby stock car. He does not have plans to run his hobby stock car this season, but he wanted to get some laps and some seat time, so that's exactly what they did. Another driver that's been putting a lot of laps in, but it's been here on the iRacing.com platform. That's the 98 of Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints, number 98, currently running into the 12th spot, up 6 spots from where he started. He's been running a lot of those, races that you have to make right-hand turns and left-hand turns. The right-hand turn part kind of confuses me, unless you're on dirt where you go right to go left. He's been running road races. I don't understand it. Ryan right now currently has a little damage on that Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. I don't know if he thought he was driving his brand new Ford Bronco or what, but Ryan's got some damage there. Currently back there in the 12th position. Biggest mover of the race is, though, right behind him in the bush beer, number 40. That is Rob Higgins. Higgins picking up a new job in the offseason, now teaching a tech class. Goes from cutting grass to teaching class. Rob Higgins, of course, has moved up 15 spots since the drop of the green flag. We saw him dead stop when that first caution flag, or when the big caution flag came out, the second caution flag of the night on the front straightaway. He was one of the drivers that came to a complete rest. No damage on the bush beer number 40 entry. So that we're calling a soda can. Looking good. Battle, though, inside the top 10. That's the 43, the Road Rage Accessories driver. Joe Strano making a move. One driver low out of line. That's the Genesee Cream Ale. Number 73, of Philly Edwards, almost yeeting himself on here in the Happy Yeetser 90. Comes that 31. Dave Bragg working his way back through the field. Michael Trevarthen's skid through the field is still going. Falling through the field, stuck to the outside, and a lot of damage to that BK Paints number 2, currently of Michael Trevarthen. The Dirty Mo Radio number 33 of Eric Johnson in that Toyota. Remember, he bought a Toyota last season, made the switch over to running Toyotas here on iRacing now. Trying to make his way around the number 2. Nothing's changed out front. It's still Jason Wells, but there is a driver that has closed into the back bumper. That's the 42. That's Max Terriel. So it's Wells, Terriel, and Souza. Remember, that 4 car still yet to come to pit road, but there is damage on the right front. He has been into the outside wall one time. Souza in that Hunt's Brother Pizza, number 4. Of course, one of the drivers from the Northeast here. Been to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway a number of times. Can't even recall how many times he has been there, but he's been there. One driver coming to pit road. Here comes Bruce Potter. He'll bring the number 59 down pit road, the driver out of Alabama. So Bruce hit his pit stall. Come by this time, complete the best lap on the board. That was lap number 39 here tonight. So lap 39 officially getting clicked off. We have had 2 race leaders tonight. The 4 of Souza, and now Jason Wells. Souza led the first 29 laps of this race, and ever since we went back racing after a 3rd caution flag of the evening, it's been all Jason Wells and that Alienware Logic Tech number 64. But we have a bid for the race lead. It's heating up. Here comes the number 42, the Storm from the north of Max Terriel, trying to take the race lead. Not going to get it that time, but does have the preferred line down here into turn number 1. We'll see if Max is able to go ahead and take that race lead now as he's down on the bottom. He's got a nose ahead, but let's see if that 64 can keep the momentum. The pony's wound up underneath the hood of that one. Down the back straightaway, you see it about about the front fender is what the 64 of Wells had going down into turn number 3 at the line that we'll see. It will be the number 42 of Max Terriel. So the 3rd lead change of the night. And the only drivers that have led laps here tonight are running 1, 2, and 3 currently after 41 laps being completed. Souza, I'm looking at the lap times. Last time by, Souza was one of the fastest cars on the speedway. And remember, He has older tires than anybody. Everybody else has come to pit road at least one time so far here tonight. So he has yet to come down. Maybe at this point he is thinking about making this a one-stop race. He's always one of those drivers that are willing to risk it for the biscuit and try a little bit of the off-sequence strategies when we come here on Monday night into the Scrambler Series. So maybe he can pull some strategy. Battle for P number 4, though. Rex Hoyle looking to the inside. It's the wily veteran of Rex Hoyle there in that number 54. Driver out of North Carolina, driving the Colony Tire and Service Center, number 54. Back for his second full-time season here with the series. Trying to work over the all-time wins leader. The number 88 is Sean Butler. Butler, remember, picking up a win last week, but he is not running for a championship, so still waiting for the clarification to see where he is going to fall into the championship standings, or does he get a seat at the table even though he's running a limited schedule. We'll just have to see how it all shakes out. Maybe the team will find the funding and be able to compete in all the races. Brandon Feeney was under attack there by the number 3. That was Tony Strano in the Victory Junction. Number 3, Strano picking up that spot there from Brandon Feeney. So that'll put the number 3 now running into the 18 spot. Of course, Tony always wanting to tell the race fans out there, and of course his brother Joe, that mom loves him more. Always a joke between the two brothers, and love the family rivalry. The other night, I was paging through the Twitter feeds. That's right, race fans. That Twitter feed going off left and right. I stumbled across this driver, Kevin O'Brien, over there on Twitter, and this is what he had to say after the other night's race. My Hot Wheels collection is faster than all these drivers. Get good, Kevin O'Brien. So, race fans, right now, Kevin O'Brien's got the Hot Wheels entry. The driver out of Australia back there into the 22nd position. He's got to get those Hot Wheels turning here tonight as we are over halfway home in this one. As the driver that had the pole here tonight, he is down pit road. There you see the number 4 of Souza. He'll come to a complete stop at the end of pit road as he has pit stall number 1. He's made it halfway home here tonight. He will go a lap down, though, I do think, as they come around to the left-hand side. They'll see if they can drop the jack and get out of pit road here, but here comes the 42 storming down the front straightaway. The 4 will go one lap down, so currently your race leader is Max Darrell, Jason Wells, and Sean Butler. Butler still has the 54, though, of Rex Hoyle right there. There you see the 4 coming out of pit road. So is they going to be able to get up to speed and stay ahead of the third-place machine. Will go one lap down, though, on the running order. So with the 4 of Souza one lap down, he is the first car one lap down. Look at the battle just behind him. That's Dave Bragg. Bragg to the inside of the number 51 of DJ Anderson. That is a battle for the 6th spot. Joe Strano just out in front of these two drivers. Don't forget the 33 of Eric Johnson is right there. Anderson not giving up on the outside lane. The Jiffy Lube entry, the 31 down there. Contact between the two drivers. Looked like that 51 wanted to turn into the corner, but the 31 of Bragg just was not quite ready. Eric Johnson down to the bottom. He's going to try and capitalize on this one. Get a 2-for-1 down in turns 3 and 4. He will at the line. Eric Johnson moving into the 6th spot. But while all these drivers battle, Joe Strano's been able to really open up the gap there. That Road Rage Accessories entry, number 43, is running 5th currently here tonight. So Strano having a very strong flex of the muscle here tonight. Drivers all back here still stacked up. Dave Bragg, Doug Neal, and Richard Murdoch. And then behind them, a whole gaggle of cars. Ryan O'Donnell, Michael Tremartin. There's Chris Hammett, Ethan Troutman, Rob Higgins, Philly Edwards, and the Genesee Cream Ale, number 73, trying not to yeet himself on here today after Easter in the happy Yeetser 90 here tonight for these drivers. So Philly Edwards very high that time off turn number 2. There's the Wendy's entry. Who else out there is a Wendy's fan that likes to take their fries and order vanilla frosty and dip them in, or am I just that weird one? Maybe I'm just weird. French fries and your vanilla frosty, race fans. Try it. Trust me. Try it. There you see that number 62 from the outside down to the inside. Now we'll go after the number 2, the BK Paints entry. Trying to get it done here. Over halfway home in the Happy Yeetser 90, and we have seen everybody come to pit road. Still interested to see where the number 4 of Souza will shake out all through this. As he's trying to go around the race leader, he will get that pass made on the 42 of Max Terriel. So now that number 4 machine will go back onto the lead lap. So if a caution were to come out, he'd be on the same strategy as the race leaders. But let's see if this one can go green all the way. You see the big lead that Max Terriel had over the number 64 of Jason Wells. Rex Hoyle has picked up that 3rd spot. There you see him down into turn number 1. Rex Hoyle sitting in 3rd, while it's going to be the number 80 and Sean Butler back and forth. And Joe Strano currently rounding out the top 5. That's how they run here tonight after 53 laps completed at the Magic Mile here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. For round number 3, there's the race leader. He'll come knock another one off the board here tonight. So as he knocks another one off, these drivers are back here still hounding each other. A little sideways action that time. Looked like that 31 of Dave Bragg, who's been very, very fast here tonight. These two have made some contact already on the speedway. Here comes Murdoch. Murdoch take a peek to the inside of that number 51 entry. Murdoch has been as high as running 3rd here tonight in the opening laps. As he's trying now to get around the number 1 car sideways. That's the Frosty machine. Up into the corner. Joshua Buckley. Looks like Michael Trevarthen. Ethan Troutman trying to spin it back around here and get going. The race leader is coming. Has to get going. This is really going to hurt the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza, who was on pit road, remember, not too long ago. They'd get fresh tires put on the number 4, but, well, he was still behind the 8 ball trying to make up some ground. Joshua Buckley, Mike Lemieux also involved, Ethan Troutman, and I think there might be a couple other cars here to bring out our 4th caution flag of the evening. Well, let's take a look back and see what happened to Wendy. There you see the 62, 3 wide there. Josh Buckley right into the quarter panel of Ethan Troutman. Going to spin him out nowhere for Lemieux to go. The rookie there driving the 912 entry. Right on board with our checkered flag auto supply onboard camera here tonight. I guess Josh wanted the biggie bag for $5. Can't blame the guy. So that'll bring out the caution, and you know what that does not do? That does not bring Jeffrey Souza to pit road. He'll be the only driver that does stay out. There you see the 4. He was just on pit road a handful of laps ago, so he'll stay out. And we'll see if he can hold off these drivers now on these old tires, because we are over halfway. I do believe all these drivers will be able to make the rest of the way on the fuel that they will carry here from this point to the end of this race. Michael Trevarthen looks like he's going to stay out here. He actually rolled down pit road. I don't know if he got his service done or not. I don't believe he did, so we'll have to see how the officials score the number 2 here. It looks like he will come to pit road this time, so the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen will give up the 2nd spot from where he was being scored. So it'll be Souza as the race leader, and then behind him it'll be the Alienware number 64. It'll be Max Terriel, Sean Butler, Joe Strano, Rex Hoyle, Dave Bragg, DJ Anderson, Doug Neal, Richard Murdoch rounding out the top 10. That's how they will line back up here on the restart. Just taking a peek at our scoring as it all is starting to update past the top 10. Drivers that are out of the event, Tim Combs unfortunately getting ill and not making a green flag lap here tonight. He'll be scored 32nd. A.J. Hamill back there, who unfortunately for that rookie had some issues. He'll be scored 31st here tonight. Sean Single, his rough season continues. He'll be scored 30th. He's out of the event. And James Skelton back there in 29th. He has already loaded up the boat. He is fishing in South Carolina. Zach Mitchell's being scored back into the 28th spot. Brian Bianchi is 27th. Tim Blum is back out onto the raceway, multiple laps down. He's back into the 26th position. Bruce Potter is 25th. Mike Lemieux, who I believe they just went behind the wall, he is being scored 24th. Joshua Buckley is back out onto the raceway. He is 23rd. Michael Trevarthen, you saw him. He's back out onto the raceway too, but he is being scored 22nd position. So, now things are about to get interesting here tonight. We'll be under 30 laps of racing left here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway here tonight. In the Happy Yeetser 90 at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Of course, we got to thank Philly Edwards for his support here with the Red Light Racing Series. Driver of that Genesee Cream Ale. He said to understand and appreciate Genesee Cream Ale, you have to be at least 40 years of age or older. I told him, well, I haven't had one and I'm not 40 yet, so I guess I don't fit the description. Well, we'll come back into the restart zone here. This time, Souza, the race leader, will take the inside lane. Last time these two were on the front row, well, they flip-flopped inside to outside. This time, Souza is able to really get it down into the corner. Out of turn 2 they go, side by side down the back straightaway, and nobody's able to get an advantage on each other right now. We'll see who leads the lap. It looks like the 64 are going to be able to nose ahead at the line. It'll be the 64 of Wells as the race leader. Here comes Sean Butler. The Butler was wrapped up in that early incident on the front straightaway when a whole bunch of drivers got together. Wells going to slip up, though. Souza was all sorts of hollowed and sideways, and oh boy, I thought he was going to lose that car. That allows Wells to storm back on the outside, but he's going to overshoot 3, so it'll go back to the number 4 of Souza. Souza back to the point here tonight. It's a hot potato contest right now for the race lead. Which driver is going to be able to hold on to it? 3-wide battle back there for the second spot. The 88 of Butler tried to come up through the gut like a running back. Wasn't quite able to get there. 42 of Max Terriot, the two most wins drivers, the two highest drivers on that list. The 88 of Butler and then the 42 of Max Terriot. They are 1 and 2 in the all-time win list, running currently side by side for that third spot. Here comes the 64 Wells. Wells will jet down to the inside this time, down in turn number 1. Will he have the advantage off turn number 2? Looks like he will, but the momentum's still going to carry for that number 4. Here comes Souza battling back down the back straightaway. The Alienware, number 64, going to slide up the speedway. Wells just a little bit. That's going to break the momentum. Contact there for third. Butler in the 88 going to hip check the 42 of Max Terriot. One driver down to the inside wall there, back around the 15th position. That was Richard Murdoch. He saves it, gathers it up for the third time here tonight, but he is going to lose a couple spots. 42 in the 88, still running side by side down the back straightaway. Souza going to really wash up the track. It's going to check Butler up. Butler going to have to fall back in line. Now Souza's on the outside hanging on with 25 laps to go. It's only 25 miles of racing, but that's still a long way to go here at New Hampshire. See Max trying to come through. He has a fast 42. We know that. Just got to get there. Wells, though, turning some fast laps. Last time by, he was the only driver into the 32nd bracket. There you see the 42 now getting free and clear. Caution lights on. Caution lights. The get upside number 5 of Brandon Minto around the 77 sim box entry of Doug Neal has been turned around. That'll bring out our 5th caution flag with 24 laps to go. 24 to go when the caution lights are on the speedway. So that'll bring us to a little bit of a crawl here, but the question being, what happened to Doug Neal and Troutman? You see the get upside number 5. We just mailed him some Turn 3 Racing Network t-shirts out today in the mail. He told us to send him the long sleeve ones because he wanted to hide his skinny arms when he goes out on dates. So Minto will come to pit road, and this is what happened. There's a hip check from Murdoch to the 77, and then Minto nowhere to go. Right on board with Doug Neal. There you see the contact from Murdoch up into the 77. Oof. Sideswiped and nowhere to go if you were Brandon Minto. There's the contact out in front of Minto. Minto thought he could hammer down and get through it, and fortunately didn't. Did spin it around, didn't hit anything else. I don't know if he has any more body panels that can fall off if he were to hit something. There you see the get upside number 5 of Brandon Minto. He's out of Norman, Oklahoma, but right now residing in San Antonio, Texas, with the United States Air Force. Mr. Minto, we thank you for your service. There's the 2 top cars. It'll be Wells and Terrio on the restart 1 and 2. Souza back there running in 3rd. 1 driver coming to pit road. Did you notice who's not there? Well, that's the sneaky 88 of Sean Butler. There you see the 88 well back into the field now. Butler came to pit road here, put 4 tires on. He'll restart 12th, so just outside the top 10. We'll see if he can work his way back up to the front of the field here. A lot of cars having damage catching the back of the field, so we'll see where everybody is scored here tonight. Aerial coverage of tonight's broadcast here at New Hampshire, though, brought to us by our friends over at Checkered Flag Auto Supply, located at 103 Park Street in Ayer, Massachusetts. If you need auto parts and you are in the Massachusetts area, make sure to check out the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Family owned and operated, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has the friendliest staff in the area. Knowledgeable staff has the right parts for you. You need the little air freshener to hang from your mirror? Well, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has it. You need brakes, rotors? Well, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, they have that too for you to keep your car tuned up and on the road running. Check them out. They're in Ayer, Massachusetts. So the Checkered Flag Auto Supply not only supplying the blimp coverage here tonight, they're also our premier sponsor here with the Scrambler Series on Monday night, and also picking up the naming rights to our Thursday night modified series for Red Light Racing. That's right, we have the Tour Modifieds in their 2nd season here with Red Light Racing. But we're getting ready to go back racing here tonight. And the Happy Yeetser 90 here from New Hampshire, getting ready to go back racing. Of course, Philly Edwards taking the naming rights. And, well, Yeetster, we always joke about in the pits area that every time a driver spins out on his own or gets into the back of somebody, he just yeeted himself or yeeted that driver. So Philly Edwards, of course, taking that. There you see the green number 73 back there into the field. That Genesee Cream Ale entry. Philly Edwards, 2nd season here on Monday night. Good guy to joke around with. So we're comeback racing. This time by as the iRacing.com safety car lights are out. It'll be under 20 laps to go when we come back racing. Wells will take the outside, giving the inside of that number 42 a Max Terriel. Green flag up. We're racing again here at New Hampshire. Great start by both drivers on the front row there as they're battled down into turn number 1. The question being, though, who will have the momentum wound up out of turn 2 to take the race lead. I thought it was going to be Wells on the outside, but here comes the 42 screaming back onto the inside. One driver having some problems back there. That's the number 24 of Zach Mitchell. Side-by-side battle. Here they come out of turn number 4. At the line, it's going to be Wells leading that time by. First lap back to green. But the inside momentum, it's going to be a tricky one here tonight. Wells still hounding the outside lane a little sideways. 4 of Souza still right there also. Remember, he's on the older tires. This time, though, Wells going to lift a little bit early, but Max Terrell really drives it off down into the corner. One car having some issues, and that's going to be the 31 of Dave Bragg. As Doug Neal's going to go around. That'll bring out the 6th caution flag here tonight. So Doug Neal is around. There's the 10 of Tim Blum also making some select starts this season. See the 31 up the speedway. Then they were 3 wide. And the 77 just going to snap loose. And he'll spin that sim box entry around. And nowhere Tim Blum was on the hunt. He was hungry like a wolf. We're on board here with Tim Blum, though. There you see the 31 up into the outside wall. Tim Blum going to get tapped there by the 31 and didn't know which quite way to go. Everything's happening so quick, and he runs into the 77 of Doug Neal, and then he's just going to come straight to pit road. Rough. Just rough there for Tim Blum. Not quite anywhere to go. So that brings out another caution flag here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Max Terrell is being scored as the race leader. We were watching the battle for the race lead, and then the caution came out with that number 42 just out front. This caution flag coming with about 17 laps to go, and a couple drivers are coming to pit road now. Tony Strano will bring down that number 3 for the Strano Brothers Racing Stables. So Tony comes to pit road. He brings Philly Edwards, Kevin O'Brien's, Ethan Troutman, and Bob Higgins coming to pit road also. So strategy here for these drivers. Remember, the 88 of Sean Butler came to pit road under the last caution flag. He has worked his way back into the 7th spot. He's got Chris Hammett right there and DJ Anderson. Both of those drivers are on that same tire strategy run. Ryan O'Donoghue, who's just out in front of them in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry, he came down pit road on lap number 57. So his tires are a little bit more worn out. We'll see how they hold up here tonight. Driver getting the Lucky Dog wave around here. That'll be the number 14, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Number 14 of Brian Bianchi. Bianchi having some good runs in the Tour Modified Series to start the season over there. Of course, he picked up the Racing School 100 win at the Thompson Speedway just down the road on Thursday night. So, congratulations once again to him for picking up his first career win on the Tour Modified Series. Lights are still on the iRacing.com safety car. Max Terra will be the driver that leads us back to green. Take a quick break here, and we'll be right back to New Hampshire to finish this one off here tonight in the Happy Yeetser 90.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, tonight to the Happy Yeetser 90 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. Ready to go as the iRacing.com safety car lights are out. Max Terriot going to roll the outside here on this restart. As the 64 Wells will go to the inside. Green flag back into the air. We'll race him down to turn number 1. Everybody looking good so far through the center of turn 1 and 2, but it is really that 42 who's looking even better. Down the back straightaway, they come with 12 laps to go. Race leader Max Terriot has the command of this race, as here comes the 64 Wells to the outside here out of turn number 4, trying to take the race lead back. It'll be 11 laps to go, this time by at the line. It's Terriot, it's Wells, it's Souza. 1, 2, and 3. They're the only. Oh, Wells well high out there in turn number 1. He's up into the marbles. You don't want to go that high. There's just no grip out there. One driver locking him up out of line. That was the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He's back into the 17th spot right now, not having the night that he would like to have in car number 2. Terriot just set his fastest lap of the evening. It was a 30.78 second lap. And the last time he was down on pit road, lap 57. So those are not brand new Goodyear Racing Eagle tires. One driver, I believe, has had some problems. That's Culpeper Bakery and Cafe, number 14, Brian Bianchi. He had some problems there, so he'll take it to pit road. The sun shining bright here now over the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Eric Johnson trying to come. Oh boy, Richard Murdoch bouncing it off the wall sideways, bouncing it off the wall some more. Everybody trying to avoid the number 1 or 01 Bob Higgins, nowhere to go. He's going to tag the back end of Richard Murdoch, and Murdoch in that Adventure in Pixels full throttle racing entry really going for a heck of a ride. Bob Higgins into the back end of Richard Murdoch. That all started out of turn number 2 for Murdoch, and it really came to a head in turn number 3. So the 7th caution flag of the evening is out onto the raceway, and it's all started right here down the back straightaway. Murdoch tried to go to the outside around O'Donnell. He got it sideways into the outside wall. Right on board with him. That's what brings the caution flag out here. Now the strategy. Do you come to pit road? Do you stay out? Everybody looks like they have stayed out. So we will go with this order, I do believe, of Max Terriot, Jason Wells, Jeffrey Souza, Rex Hoyle, Sean Butler, your top 5. Pit strategies for the top 2 drivers were back on lap number 57. Jeffrey Souza, remember, has the older tires. He pitted back on lap number 46. Rex Hoyle, the wily veteran, back on 59. Sean Butler was on 68. It's going to be 57 for Joe Strano, who will restart in 6th position. Chris Hammett came down on 68. DJ Anderson on 68. And Eric Johnson also came down on 68. Ryan O'Donnell, who rounds out the top 10, was on lap number 57. So a ton of varying strategies here at the end of tonight's race here at New Hampshire of who pitted when. There you see a virtually packed grandstands here at New Hampshire. This is race number 3 of the season here with the Scrambler Series. Of course, remember Max Terriot picking up the first win of the season with Sean Butler picking up last week's win. They are officially locked into the championship chase that will come at the end of 10 races. Well, what's left on the schedule here? Well, next week we have a really special race. We go 90 laps at the Miami Homestead Speedway in the 1987 Winston Cup machines before we head to the Talladega Super Speedway. May the 2nd, the Xfinity cars come out to do a little bit of Super Speedway racing. Then we will head on May the 9th for 150 laps. The Gander Outdoor trucks are back out onto the racing surface as we head to Richmond. And then the twists and turns of the Road America Raceway, where we will head on May the 16th with the Xfinity car before we head to Kentucky. Kentucky Motor Speedway is where we will go on May the 23rd. The Milwaukee Mile, we will bring out the ARCA car for the first time this season. That's 100 laps at the Milwaukee Mile on June the 6th. And the final race of the regular season, we will head to Bristol, the last great Coliseum. But the twist of that one is we're taking the trucks, the tailgaters, and we're going to do 50 and 50. That's right. 2 segments. We're going to go 50 laps of the first segment on dirt. Oh, did I mention? It's on dirt. So 50 laps on dirt to start the race. Then we're going to go 50 more laps on dirt. There's going to be a special invert. It's going to count as 2 points paying races, and that's the cut race. Talk about a wild card to get yourself into the championship chase if you can. And the first round of that will then start on June the 20th at the Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway. We will bring out the ARCA car for the second and final time of the season. But first, we got to finish this one out. 4 laps, green flag coming this time by. Green flag up, everybody coming up through the 5-speed gearboxes, sequentially shifting these next generation Cup cars that we see on Sundays. That 64 this time, though, able to hold serve down to the bottom side. Wells really making Max Terriot work for this one down into 3. Souza still being able to hold on to that 3rd position for the time being. It'll be 3 laps to go when they come by this time. 3 laps remaining. Max Terriot, the first one back across the line. Look at that 64 really roll the bottom side. Not quite able to get off turn number 2 that time for Wells, so that'll put Terriot out in front. Souza still sitting there into the 3rd spot. Butler's back and forth. Rex Hoyle is running into the 5th spot currently. That's how they come across the line. Wide them up. It'll be 2 more times around the speedway here tonight. 2 more miles of racing before we can put a crown on somebody's head. Will it be the 42? Will it be the 64? How about the 4? We're about to find out, because next time by, we'll wave the white flag if we get there. See a couple cars out of line. That's the number 6 of Chris Hammond. He's battling with Joe Strano. That's inside the top 10. Out of turn 4 they come. The white flag is in the air. It'll be the final trip around the speedway presented by Colt Pepper's Bakery and Cafe. It's the final trip here tonight at New Hampshire. It's the final trip around the speedway, and Max Terriot is absolutely setting a blistering pace. One car having some problems down in turn number 1. That's going to be Rob Higgins, and I believe that's Joe Strano just hit the inside wall also down the back straightaway. He is going to have to settle for this one. Final trip out of turn number 4, though. It'll be the Storm from the north here tonight picking up the big win. It'll be Max Terriot, Jason Wells, Jeffrey Souza finishing 1, 2, and 3. The only 3 drivers to lead any laps here tonight. They finished 1, 2, 3. Sean Butler back there in 4th. Rex Hoyle was 5th. Chris Hammett was 6th. DJ Anderson was 7th. Eric Johnson was 8th. 9th goes to Tony Strano for his first top 10 of the season. And Michael Trevarthen will rally back to finish in the top 10. That's how they all come across. But Max Terriot will pick up his 2nd win of the season. That MK Medic entry will come around here. See if he's got a little tread left to burn off that 42. Looks like he'll just turn it around and point it at the fans here. See if he just parks it over here before we head off to our post-race show. There's your winner, Max Terry, out here tonight, unofficially at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We'll be back with your post-race show after this.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway here tonight, race fans, for the Happy Yeetser 90, presented by Philly Edwards, as we have completed 90 laps of racing competition. 3 drivers here tonight were able to lead laps, and they will finish 1, 2, and 3. We will head down here to the track side to talk to our top 3 finishers. Let's start things off with the driver that drives the 482. He picked up his 2nd win of the season. How about it, Max? It looked like a very strong car here for you tonight. You had to pick your way through the field, though, starting back outside the top 3, but you were able to really battle for this one.
Yeah, this is a first for me with these cars and at New Hampshire and Victory Lane, so a little bit of an unexpected result because it's not my best track. And a big shout out to Jason and Jeffrey for racing very clean and competitively most of the race up front. And it was tricky on corner exit, especially off of 2. Really had to be patient, going full throttle, and that's where most of the time could be gained or lost.
We saw a lot of people having trouble with turn 2. What did you really have to do off turn 2 to get this car planted to make the straightaway speed down the back straightaway?
For me, I needed to feel the right rear tire settle down. It's hard to explain because it's more visual than anything since we don't have seat of the pants feeling, but visually I needed to see the car dip down on the right rear a little bit more. And then I knew that I could progressively apply the throttle and have a straight exit off of turn 2. That's probably with about 10 minutes left in practice that I really clicked for me and applied it during the race, and it worked. And being consistent, of course, also helps for 90 laps.
Well, you were able to be consistent here tonight as you walk away with your 2nd win of the season. That's got to feel pretty good. Obviously, you're secured into the championship chase, so you won't have to worry about that dirty Bristol track that we're going to a little bit later on in the season. But how do you think the outcome is good looking already? Miami Homestead next week, the 1987 Winston Cup machines.
Yep, these are cars that are a big contrast to what we drive so far this season, so I'm looking forward to them.
Well, before we let you go, the red carpet rolls out. Max, who do you got to thank again on car number 42 in Victory Lane?
Yep, my girlfriend, my friend Max at Mexican Knitting, and my dad, Josh, James, and Richard for running this Scrambler series on Monday. Again, Jason, Jeffrey for a strong race, and we'll see you guys next week.
There you hear it tonight from winner circle here tonight. The winner of the Happy Yeetser 90. Then we'll go to the 42 of Max Terrell. He'll pick up his second win of the season. Driver that will finish second, it looked like, well, had one of the strongest cars here tonight. It'll be Jason Wells. Wells, a very strong run here for this car, but that final restart really did it in.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun here tonight. I like to blame it on the brakes. My brakes seem to be kind of inconsistent, but I made a ton of mistakes in this race. I'm glad I didn't make contact with anybody, but it was a lot of fun racing Max and Jeffrey, and I don't know, this was one of my favorite tracks, one of my best tracks, so I'm not really looking forward to Homestead, which is one of my worst tracks. I'm really a bottom feeder, and this is one of those tracks that you can't really pass that well on the bottom. So when everybody's blowing their tires off on the high line, I just try to creep around the low line. And when I finally got the restart on the outside, I think against Jeffrey, I kept blowing the corner so bad. And then I'm just looking at lap 63. He came down into my lane on the low lane. I almost locked it up. I'm so thankful I didn't punt him into one. It would have been a bad race, but it was a lot of fun. I'm very glad we all finished out front.
Well, how do you feel? You talk about the low lane. Have you done any testing at Homestead? Because Homestead has that high lane. It has the middle groove, and a lot of drivers like to run it right down around the bottom. What do you think the 1987 cars are going to do next week when we head to Homestead?
I have no idea. I've run a ton of laps at that track, and I just can't get the hang of it. So 87 is my favorite car. I haven't tested there yet in that car, so I don't know. I'm crying about it today. Maybe next week I'll actually be all right.
Well, we'll let you get out of here and get some laps in that 1987 car. Before we let you go, though, who helps out behind the scenes back at the camp?
Just the practice races last night. Race with Jeffrey and Michael Trevarthen. We all raced up clean up front. James and Josh putting on a good league, and you for a great broadcast.
There you hear it from the driver of the Alien Wear, number 64, Jason Wells. Another strong run here on Monday night. He'll finish in P number 2. Back into the third spot, though. Boy, it looked like a very strong car here tonight. It looked like it was your night, Jeffrey. What did you need, though, to go back up there and take the race lead from Max Terriel?
Yeah, I just needed a mixture of a little bit fresher tires and a little bit of a strategy call there, having to stay out there on the old tires, and then we got a bad caution there about halfway that just kind of hurt our strategy really bad for sure.
Did you guys have the strategy circled coming in here knowing that you could have made it on a one-stop race?
Yeah, we were running some laps yesterday. Me and my crew chief Brandon Pierce were running laps, and like Jason was just saying, that practice race last night, we got a lot of information out of that. What gear to run in. These cars have 5 gears. You could run in 4th gear today if you wanted to. Some people stayed in 5th. I favored 4th gear for the majority of the race, but working on that fuel mileage and just depending on how much tires were worth last night, I pitted on 20 lap. I came out on 20 lap better tires, and it took a while to get by some people. So just tough to pass even with the new tires, but ended up hurting me there at the end for sure.
We saw you choose the inside lane on a couple restarts, the outside lane on a couple restarts. Where was the place to be here tonight when we went back racing?
To be honest, I think it just depended on who got the better start. With this go on green restart, you kind of have to manage yourself on the throttle. If you're the leader, the guy on the outside has a little bit of play with there. If they're the second place car. So if I got a good enough restart, I preferred the bottom, just because I could sail it in there and not worry about the guy to my outside as much. It was easier to slide job people down there. The outside, though, like we saw multiple times, even lost the lead, picking the inside a few times because of it. Just gets a huge runoff. So it was really just based on how good you got to jump. Whatever lane jumped the best pretty much had the preferred lane going into one.
Well, you had yourself a whale of a run here tonight. We thought there for a while that it was definitely going to be your night here in Victory Lane. Unfortunately, a third-place finish for you. Still going to be a really good points night that should propel you straight to right around, I think, I want to say about the 7th position in the points. It'll be a huge jump for yourself here tonight. A lot of your competitors having some, well, unfortunate mishaps out of turn number 2 seem to be the really tricky spot. But, hey, how about it? Fast car means there's a lot of people behind you that made it this fast.
Yeah, definitely. We've had some struggles so far this season. So big thanks to Brandon Pierce at Triad. He's really working hard with me to either help with the driving the car itself, no matter what car we go to. Honestly, the season obviously, but figure out what strategies we can pull. If it's 2 tires, 4 tires. Half fuel load, it doesn't matter. He does a bunch behind the scenes that helps us get towards the front here, as well as Sousa Media helping supporting the team by giving us all this money to put up sessions and practice outside of actual league sessions. So them, and then also, like I said, Triad Esport. We do so much work over there, especially with this car, which is one of the reasons that I circled this race on the calendar, because I knew a lot of people were going to struggle getting their hands around this thing, and I know that I've driven probably 3 or 4 races in this car at this track with this package. So understanding the patience it needed off the turn, I think helped us win the pole there, and then also pretty much stay top 3 the whole race, minus once we pitted there halfway.
There you hear it from that driver of car number 4 here tonight. Sousa took the pole. He'll finish 3rd, though, here tonight at the end of the 90 laps of the happy Yeetser 90 with Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing here tonight. It was round number 3 here at the Magic Mile, and it definitely turned into a magical evening here as Max Terrett was able to pick up his 2nd win of the season with Jason Wills in tow in 2nd. Jeffrey Susie, heard from him. He was back in 3rd. Sean Butler was back there in 4th. And how about Rex Hoyle picking up 3 spots to finish into the 5th position? Biggest mover of the night, though, he picks up 16 spots. That's the driver of car number 33 of Eric Johnson. He had himself a solid night. Some drivers that would like to maybe forget this one, maybe Sean Single, James Skelton, and AJ Hamill. They finish outside the top 25 here tonight. They're going to come back with a vengeance next week when we head down to Miami with the 1987 Winston Cup machines. But for everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and of course we got to thank Billy Edwards for taking the naming rights here for the Happy Yeetser 90. I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the Magic Mile. Until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you at the races.